All right. Good morning, good afternoon, or perhaps maybe even good evening to everyone who's filing in to join us for this fireside chat on the renewable energy journeys of our of some select cities in Southeast Asia. Again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be joining us today. Thank you so much for setting aside time to join us for this fireside chat. While we're waiting for people to fill in, we already see lots of greetings coming into the chat box. So please feel free to drop in and say hi to everyone. Let us know where you're coming from. And please connect with all your fellow attendees from not just Southeast Asia, but from all over the world. We have participants coming in from, of course, Asia, from there are also some from Africa. Hello, hello, hello. I believe we also have some coming from Europe, from Trinidad and Tobago. Hello, everyone from all over the world. It's very, very nice to have you here with us today. Again, drop in, say hi. We're just taking a few minutes so that everyone can have a chance to go in and witness our fireside chat right from the start. But while we're doing so, we encourage you to join the Renew Southeast Asia Community of Practice over on LinkedIn. You can do that by typing into your browser bar tinyurl.com/renew community of practice. You can also scan that QR code on your screen. So this community of practice will connect you with peers and colleagues who are into renewable energy, whether they're professional, a veteran in renewable energy, or they're just starting to explore this space. Please join. Please join us on LinkedIn. We'll connect you with everyone. Over there, you'll also have first access and first registration on knowledge products, uh, case studies, reports, guides related to sustainable energy. You'll also have first access to opportunities, perhaps partnerships or potential engagement projects in the future. Of course, also have first access on learning events such as this one, whether virtual or in person. So again, we encourage you to join the Renew Southeast Asia Community of Practice. If you're wondering what Renew Southeast Asia is, later on at the start of our program, we'll be talking more about ICLEI and what the Renew project is and why we're working on renewable energy in Southeast Asia. Again, thank you for everyone who are joining us today. Thank you for coming in. Just some house rules to start us off. James, if we can move to the next slide, please. We have people coming from India, Bangladesh, Kenya, Afghanistan, Ethiopia. Again, everyone from Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan. We have people coming in from Houston, Texas. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us for this session. So, so just some house rules for us today. James, we can move to the next slide. Um, we'll discuss the house rules. Myanmar, India. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Again, some house rules you might have noticed that attendees are muted by default. That is by design to maintain the smooth flow of this event. We hope to, in this short 1 hour to 1.5 hour session, we hope to have many, many learnings from our featured cities that we'll be introducing in just a bit. But even though that may be the case, the chat box, the Q&A, and React functions are enabled, so you can engage with the speakers and your fellow attendees and share their thoughts as the discussions flow. Later on during our Q&A portions, we'll be selecting some questions that will be allowing the panelists to answer live. We of course, encourage healthy, respectful, and mindful comments, insights, and discussions from everyone. And for those who will be needing a certificate of attendance, we will be sending and showing a Google Form survey link near the end of this event. So please watch out for that. And of course, this event is being recorded. So if you want to rewatch it online at your own convenience, you are free to do so. Next slide, James. So just being aware of the fact that we're all coming from all over the world, this event is, as you can see, it's being conducted in English. But if you're more comfortable in reading the proceedings in your own language, we have AI enabled closed captions. So you can follow that guide on your screen. Click more, then the show captions button along the bottom right side of your Zoom interface. Check enable translation and select your preferred caption language in the pop-up window. And you may also view the full live transcript by clicking the up arrow by the show captions button. Again, it is AI enabled, so it is far from perfect, and it does have some delay, but it will allow you to get a bigger sense of what we're talking about here in your native language. Again, without further ado, I'll hand it over to our project officer for in ICLEI Southeast Asia. He's one of the people responsible for Renew Southeast Asia. James, over to you to discuss who ICLEI is and what the Renew Southeast Asia project is about. James?
Okay, thank you very much, Chris, for that. Can you still see my screen then?
Yeah, it's visible. It's in the AI translated closed captions slide.
Okay. So yeah, hi everyone. Again, I'm James Serena, project officer for ICLEI Southeast Asia. Let me just introduce ICLEI in general. So ICLEI is a worldwide network of local and regional governments committed towards sustainability. And so for the Renew Southeast Asia project, the main offices involved are, of course, the Southeast Asia Secretariat, us essentially based in Manila in the Philippines. We also have our colleagues from the Indonesia office based in Jakarta in Indonesia, as well as our colleagues from the Global Sustainable Mobility Team based in Bonn, Germany. And so with the clay, our work with energy has also reached a global scale through several projects. Mainly with the International Climate Initiative of the German government through the 100% renewables project, which we have a compact that is free to sign up to for local governments, especially as we have representatives here now. So yeah, just a bit of background regarding the Renew Southeast Asia project. So, as you could already tell from the title, we're focused on the Southeast Asian region, but then hopefully, we from the region as well as us could share certain learnings, what works and what does not work in terms of our contexts for renewable energy and energy efficiency in this fireside chat. But then going back to the overall objective of the project, we'd like to empower local and regional governments to increase their uptake of renewable energy and energy efficiency in the region. And so our main focus countries so far are Indonesia, Malaysia, and then Thailand. But then, as you can see now, we have cities from the Philippines, mainly because we also have quite a number of interventions and or projects with these local governments that are also part of our network. And then, yeah, for these focus countries, we have also the deep dive cities, as we call them, because they sort of became the main focus of the project's intervention. So in Indonesia, we have Yogyakarta, and then in Malaysia, we have Hang Tuah Jaya, together with the state owned Melaka Green Tech, which is essentially taking care of the renewable energy transition in this locality. And of course, we have here right now Chiang Mai, Thailand, and so I'll introduce them later on. But then we'd like to reach the objective of the project through networking, such as this one, as well as capacity building. So in Chiang Mai's case, we were able to conduct capacity building workshops with them last April, as well as through networking with local governments as well as policy support. So we've conducted also multi-level governance dialogues with in Thailand's case, with Chiang Mai Municipality, the Provincial Energy Authority of Chiang Mai, as well as the Alternative Energy Development Department, or DEDE, of the Ministry of Energy of Thailand. And then, yeah, we've also conducted them in Malaysia just last May, and then in Indonesia. And so, yeah, throughout the project, we've built a community space, a sort of a LinkedIn group, if you will. And so you may scan the QR code if you'd like to join. And as I mentioned, we've conducted workshops as well. Another workshop we've held was a serious games workshop wherein we tried to gamify energy planning for the local governments that we've engaged with. And so those resources are also available through the QR link in the middle, and through we also have the link in the middle to see the landing page of the project in the ICLEI Global Sustainable Energy platform. And then, of course, you may also access there our knowledge products. We have someone crowdfunding to sort of address some of the financing um, issues or challenges that your city may have, as well as spatial planning, sustainable public procurement related to energy, permitting, because in some local governments, that's sort of one of the barriers as well, the institutional ones. And then, of course, lastly, we have this global community where, as I mentioned, we have the 100% RE, where you may network with other local governments or regional governments that are also committed to sustainable energy to contribute to net zero emissions. And so, without further ado, um, yeah, we may now move on to the peer exchanges. So, I'd like to first introduce our panel members. So, from the Chiang Mai Municipality in Thailand as a deep dive city of Renew Southeast Asia project, I'd like to introduce Mr. Dinawatsuwan. So, he's the city coordinator of the Renew Southeast Asia project for the as well as the liaison or focal person for ICLEI's network. Kuntan, would you like to say hi and introduce yourself a bit?
Yeah, thank you, James and Chris. Hello, everyone. My name is the short name is Pitan from Chiang Mai Municipality. I'm a city coordinator for renewable energy initiative in Chiang Mai Municipality. Yeah, very happy to be here, and maybe today we can exchange the knowledge or the experience together. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kuntan. And then next we have Mr. Jomar Kapili of Quezon City. So he's the Senior Environmental Management Specialist from the Climate Change and Environmental Sustainability Department of Quezon City. So, Sir Jomar, would you like to also say hi to our participants? Sir Jomar. Oh, he's okay. I guess he's having certain issues, but then we also have representatives from Borongan City. So we have Miss Perlita Gakutno. So she's actually part of currently a part of a, non-government organization, which is also going to share to us the context for their case in the southern portion of the Philippines. So Miss Pearl, would you like to say hi a bit? Oh, Sir Jomar, you're back in the um call in the meeting. Would you like to say hi before we start the sessions?
Sorry, I disconnected.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jomer Capili from the Quezon City Climate Change and Environmental Sustainability Department under the Climate Change Mitigation Division.
All right. So I guess we can try starting the mechanics for this exchanges. So yeah. All right. So we'll have 4 rounds of discussions today. So we'll have different themes or areas where we'll discuss about renewable energy. So the first one will be on policy. The round two will be on finance. The third will be on technology. And then the fourth will be on public participation. So these are mainly, some overarching ones, but then of course we're free to also discuss and expound further on them. So each panel member will have around 2 to 3 minutes of discussion time, and then we'll turn over to the next one. But then after all the discussions, the audience will also have, well, through Chris's help, we'll filter through the questions and then, see and bring about to the table any questions or discussion points that may be fit to discuss at that point in time. So, um, shall we try starting then? If there are no more objections or clarifications. So yeah, we'll begin round one on policy. So here are some of um the guide questions for the first round on policy. So for our panel members, we'd like to bring up the questions. What specific policies, plans, or initiatives at the city level have been most effective in driving your city's transition to renewable energy, and how are they implemented? Secondly, what is one policy or several, if your city has, uh, one policy solution in your city that you have found especially challenging to implement and are curious to know more about from your peers? And then lastly, please elaborate on any challenges or opportunities that your city is encountering related, sorry, it was cut, related to renewable energy. Can we start with Chiang Mai?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Hello everyone again. So actually, if we talk about the Chiang Mai is a tourist destination in northern part of Thailand, and actually right now we have the new mayor, but the same person because he has the second term for the position of the mayor. And actually for the energy scheme right now we have. focus on energy efficiency in the city level because one of the position of the city want to be low carbon city. Why we use the technology LED to uh, replacement from the old traditional lamp on the public lighting. I think right now we try to expand more and more of the LED in the whole of the city, and one of the policy by the mayor, he want to make the city for safety city, and he tried to change the LED in the whole of the city of the Chiang Mai for make sure that for the safety of the tourists and the resident and the people who come to city of Chiang Mai. And actually for the renewable energy right now, because of Chiang Mai to be the candidate for the UNESCO World Heritage Site, we don't want to change the solar rooftop to be a solar panel, and we are learn from our organization, learn from the others, from Chiang Mai University, to change the waste to energy in the near future. But from the previously, I think we have many conditions because of we have the limited of the land and limited of the location to create of the power plant from waste. But I think right now we try to upgrade or to learn from the other city to change uh, some organic waste to be compost, and change compost to be the vegetable for the food security in the city of the Chiang Mai. And I think this one is a initiative activity that we are implemented in Chiang Mai city. Thank you.
So yes, just highlighting, perhaps we could discuss later. But then yeah, Pete Tan mentioned about some challenges when it comes to heritage protection and then renewable energy development because there's their building code for that heritage protection site in the Lana inner city is fairly strict when it comes to the materials that are being installed uh for the roof materials, and so there's some complications with installing solar panels on top of those. So
Yes.
yes, yeah, perhaps we could move on to another one of our panel members. Sir Jomar of Quezon City, would you also like to share on the policies being implemented in Quezon City?
Yeah, hello again. Good afternoon. I'll just share one slide for this round. Um, okay, so for Quezon City, in terms of the um, policies and programs, sorry. Yeah. Can you see the slide? Yeah. Okay, so in terms of the policies and programs, Quezon City's transition to renewable energy is anchored on the Enhanced Climate Change Action Plan from 2021 to 2050, with a vision of reducing our carbon emission by 30% by 2030, and meet or target pursue net zero carbon by 2050. One of the strategies under this Enhanced Climate Change Action Plan is the solarization of our city-owned buildings and facilities, prioritize to reduce emissions and demonstrate climate leadership and moral ascendancy. Um, another plan that involves transition to renewable energy is our ongoing Green Building Code amendment. So this Green Building Code strategically designed to raise minimum energy efficiency requirements for all new developments and major renovations, integrating renewable energy adoption as one of the core requirements, especially for large-scale buildings. With these plans and initiatives, some of our key achievements were the installed solar PV systems within our city hall buildings within our compound. Six were already installed, and three buildings were already energized by solar PV systems. And then on the other hand, we have two public hospitals that were already operationalized with solar PV system. Undergoing installation include one public hospital and six public schools. And then there's an ongoing feasibility studies for other public schools. The city government is also institutionalized its partnership with the schools division office through a memorandum of agreement to really set the roles and responsibilities for all relevant departments and offices with regard to the plan for solar energy projects. For our technical personnel, we also conduct annual solar energy mentorship activities so that we further enhance the capacity and knowledge of our personnel in terms of solar deployment strategy. Further, the city is also um, developed a rooftop solar penetration and potential development study through the C40 cities. This initiative or partnership serves as a policy and a decision support tool for implementing solar energy projects in the future. With regard to the challenges or opportunities, one we are looking at, or we saw the need to create strong incentives, I think, to make building decarbonization financially viable for owners and developers. For instance, especially for the private sector, the residential sectors, to make it more attractive to them, given that based on the previous study that we have made, private and residential sectors really represent a vast or a potential for distributed renewable energy penetration or generation within the city. So I think that's all from my end.
All right. Thank you very much for your input, Sir Jomar. So, I'd just like to highlight the anchoring into a specific city plan or policy could be important in leveraging renewable energy transition in our cities, as well as the human resources aspect of Quezon City's efforts, turning over skills as well as transferable knowledge to their personnel, as well as the value of engaging with civil society, like us at ICLEI, as well as the C40 group, which allows them to also conduct feasibility studies, as well as other sort of preconditions to in actual implementations or interventions, like installations of solar panels and whatnot. So yes, thank you for that. Do we now have our representatives from Borongan City? Right. Is Miss Pearl or Anne in the call with us? Oh, huh. So I guess they're still encountering some issues. So yeah, perhaps some context, because Borongan is one of our also key partner cities in the Philippines, mainly because they also have certain issues with energy security, and I guess they're being challenged by it now. So I guess we could start sort of the interactions or the discussions between the panel members. So um, Pitan, our colleague Sir Jomar mentioned about the updating of their green building code in terms of their policy to sort of allow for energy efficiency as well as renewable energy initiatives to be sort of leveraged or to for it to be allowed. So do you think that is something that Chiang Mai would be open to also making in terms of, in trying to integrate um, heritage protection as well as sustainability initiatives in terms of policy for just so, we could integrate both protecting our cultural heritage and still advancing in terms of sustainability initiatives.
Yeah, thank you. I think because right now I remember the number of the building, 135 the building, especially in Chiang Mai University. We are around 135 building to make a solar rooftop. But okay, outside of the old town, because in the old town we have the local act or the regulation to protect the candidate of the World Heritage Site in the city or inner of the city. But right now, okay, for the energy efficiency is quite important for us. But outside of the uh, inner city or the old town, maybe we choose to think more about the renewable energy in the future.
Yes. Yes. And do you have similar sort of because we did the trainings with you, right? So is it sort of a regular thing that's also being done by Chiang Mai, or like was that sort of one of the first, if not only capacity building efforts conducted in your local government?
In this issue, I think is quite important because actually Chiang Mai municipality is the biggest the local government or local government body in northern part of Thailand. And when we do something, maybe just like we can share with the other or smaller uh, local governments in the northern part of Thailand. And one thing that we are jump into the track of the smart city, we are right now we focus on the smart energy, also how to save the energy consumption at the city level and how to help the community or the private sectors, just like to use more the EV or electric vehicle or scooter or bike sharing in the city. Yeah, this is the activity that we are implemented in the city.
All right, thank you. So yeah, and actually just to also point out, right, both Chiang Mai as well as Quezon City and even Borongan are already implementing the solarization of the rooftops of their government buildings. So I guess that's also important to point out for this one that, that's a common low-hanging fruit for local governments as well. I'd like to steer the discussion now to Sir Jomar. I guess as a last point of discussion for this part. Sir Jomar, we know that Mayor Belmonte is one of the leading mayors in terms of climate change action, and so we'd like to ask how crucial is political will in terms of pushing for or lobbying for policy changes that would allow us um, to increase or if not expedite renewable energy or energy efficiency initiatives in our cities. Sir Jomar? Huh. While we're at that, Chris, do we have some interesting questions from the chat now that we could bring up to the panel?
Hi, thank you, James. We have some very interesting questions in the Q&A box, but I think related to policy. I think I can narrow that down. Hold on, let me just double check real quick. Um, it's from this is more technology. Found Unity. I think I can rephrase this some of the questions to be more related to policy. Uh, do we have any policies, or how do you see renewable energy policies to benefit directly at the household and community level? Again, the question is, um, how do the Chiang Mai or Quezon City or perhaps Borongan have or is thinking of developing policies that the renewable energy policies that will directly benefit uh, the household level? Uh, and if you want to
Yeah.
uh, have first go at the answer.
Okay, actually, for this the policy, okay, maybe policy is cover or top to down, but actually, not the local government because we work together with the provincial level. We work together with the community level also in the community leader, and the Ministry of the Energy also. But I think the mayor have the policy how to explain or uh, increase of renewable energy in the city, but something that is quite important for us because related to the finance because after COVID we have the problem with the economic down and some of the finance or the budget maybe put uh serve for the other activity, but okay, in case of the energy maybe we a little bit climbing up to increase the number of the finance to serve of the energy in case of the energy efficiency and renewable energy outside of the city or outside of the old town.
Thank you, Tan. I think you touched on finance there, and I think on the next round of of discussions, we'll dive more into that. Thank you so much, Tan. Sir Jomar, are you with us? Are you able to answer our questions?
Can you repeat the question again?
Thank you, Sir Jomar. We have a question on policy. Specifically, how can cities develop renewable energy policies that benefit the household level directly rather than being indirectly through other means like government? Like, for example, you can solarize a government building that benefits the community, sure, but do we have any policies for the household level for renewable energy?
Yeah, so this component is or will be integrated in the ongoing amendment of the Green Building Code of Quezon City. So this will be part of the component as under the sustainable energy component of the Green Building Code. So we know that I've mentioned a while ago, residential sector plays a vital role in implementing renewable energy initiative across the city. So we recognize their importance also. So that's why currently we are developing some mechanism to really have their buy-in. Yeah, their participation to do renewable or to shift their energy to renewable energy, so that we also target our emission reduction target by 2030 to reduce our emission by 30%. And to really, of course, to for now currently we are really demonstrating leadership in terms of we really have to first implement this within the city government, because that's the easiest way to implement this project, because we handle those public buildings and facilities. We would like to really show them the some moral ascendancy that if we can make this implementation possible, so as well from their end, they can also do that in terms of implementing renewable energy or transitioning to renewable energy.
Thank you, Sir Jomar. Leading by example, right? So if the local government is able to do it, that should be inspiring to the private sector, or just the citizens to actually go into also transition to renewable energy. Thank you, sir. I think James, I think that's the time we have for this round. I think we can move on to the
Yes.
next thematic area. Thank you.
Right. Yes. And yeah, rightfully so. We've had mentions of it already through our discussions. So yeah, moving on now to round two, another important component of the renewable energy transition for a lot of cities would be finance. And so these are the guide questions for this round. So firstly, what financing models has your city used to fund renewable energy projects, and what were the key factors in their success? Secondly, what is one financing approach you have found especially challenging to implement and are curious to know more about from your peers? So again, we start with Chiang Mai in terms of finance. So um, Kuntan, if you'd like to share.
Yeah, thank you, James and Chris. In case of the finance, I think at the city level we have the very limited of the finance support, because actually after COVID-19 we are facing with the tax from the city to correct the money to the city and to spend for the energy sector. And right now, I think for the economic in Chiang Mai, I think maybe all over the region or maybe all over the world, we are faced with the um, the economic regression. And I think we have the own budget, but in the city we have many things to do, and I think the mayor try to make the priorities, but energy consumption is quite important for us. We the community can access 100% to the electricity, no problem for this. But how to save the earth or how to save the environment to use the renewable energy? But we try to make collaborate with the other organization, just like the ERD from CMU or ADZ from CMIU, to get the knowledge from them, and make a small project to uh, try the renewable energy from waste. And I think maybe in the future, if it maybe success, I think we choose to expand more. And in the future, we don't know we can get more the budget or not. Maybe we are looking for the the renewable energy efficiency in the future.
Right.
Thank you.
So yes, thank you, Pitan. So yeah, just to re-emphasize, Chiang Mai is using their own local revenues to fund the renewable energy and energy efficiency initiatives in their city, mainly because the centralized national Thai government is not reaching too much of the funds to their communities. But then more of that later. So perhaps we could move on to Quezon City in terms of financing RNEE initiatives. Sir Jomar.
Yeah. in terms of the financing model, so primarily Quezon City relied on its city fund mechanism to implement this renewable energy initiative to these sectors through the local government budget. Supported by annual appropriations. So basically, we have this climate emergency declaration last 2019, um, and this allows us to put an allotted budget around 13 to 20% for an annual budget allocated for climate action. So this really helps us provide an annual allocation budgeting for implementing this kind of initiative, such as the solar energy project for Quezon City. Um, in terms of the uh, challenges, this is not, I think, a challenge, but somehow an opportunity. We are looking at um, PPP model mechanism for solar PV installation. Um, but then again, the process is somehow very new because there's a new PPP code implemented in the Philippines. So either it's an unsolicited proposal or solicited proposal. This will be the proponent should submit its proposal to the PPP Center for review and for checking of the documents. But somehow we can check or assess the proposal for unsolicited before they can submit the final proposal to the PPP Center.
Interesting input, Sir Jomer. So, Pitan, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I would like to give more information about the finance support because actually right now the Thai government they are okay make a new regulation and for the household use for the solar rooftop and made together with the bank if some household or the some house they need more change the source of the energy or electricity maybe if they want to installation of the solar rooftop the bank can get more finance to support the installation of the solar rooftop with the special interest. I think this is just 2 or 3 months ago. The government, central government, they announcement and together with the commercial banks in Thailand, in the whole of Thailand.
So yes, that's an interesting I guess common ground that we're finding now with our cities. So part of the financing is involving the private sector as well for our RENEE initiatives. Mainly, Sir Jomar was referred to public-private partnerships through that PPP model. And so yeah, in Chiang Mai, for example, even though the city has some of its initiatives, for example, we met, I think last week with Jumbo Electronics, which
Yeah.
is supporting that initiative with Chiang Mai, but then also they're also on their own doing their own initiatives to support other cities in the more far-flung areas in Thailand with their solar street lights as well as other solar models. Especially there, I think there are also other companies that are doing solar panels for the hill tribes in the northern part of Thailand, mainly because the grid could not cover those areas because those areas are usually environmentally protected areas that are protected by the indigenous people. And so the compromise was to have them some solar units in order for them to still have access to electricity while safeguarding the mountain and watershed regions in the northern part of Thailand. And
Thank you.
so yeah, yeah. Do we have some more inputs from our colleagues from Warangan? Miss Pearl or Miss Anne, if you're already here and able to um participate from the city hall. Uh, uh, I guess they're still, oops, trying to address that. But then I guess yeah, for this one, how do you this is for both our panels, right? So um in ICLEI, we've developed sort of other knowledge products for financing models. So, for example, we have, if you can check it out in the links we've checked earlier, the crowdfunding knowledge product about, how we could harness, apart from taxes, other crowdfunding mechanisms to fund these initiatives, as well as, um, for example, having green bonds in cities, as well as other investment opportunities for the private sector to escalate these initiatives. Would that be something that our cities in the panel be interested in? And or are there already sort of efforts being done to explore these other innovative financing models to be implemented in the cities? Perhaps not just RE or maybe even in other sustainability thematic areas that we could possibly scale up for renewable energy. Um, Kuntans or Jommer? Uh, uh, while they're at that, Chris, do we have any interesting questions now for the finance round?
Uh, yes, there is. We have a few, but I think I've narrowed it down to one that will be, uh, I think, appreciated by all our different, by the representatives from all the different countries that we have today. Shall I ask the question, James?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we have a question here. They're asking. I think I'll just rephrase it for clarity. If there is no current government support, so if you had to start from absolutely zero renewable energy efforts, what financing model would be easiest and fastest and best to apply for if you want to start renewable energy in your city, if there was none to begin with, for example? I think we'll give them a couple of a few seconds to think of their answer.
Or perhaps,
it's a
yeah,
bit
we
hard,
could
right?
take this back to when your cities were just starting these initiatives, like when you were starting your first solar projects. Were they from local government budgets? Were they donated? Because yeah, those are sort of different financing mechanisms in play.
Uh, for my personal opinion, I think very difficult because right now we have smart grid from in Thailand. So out of Bangkok capital, we receive the electricity from PEA, and for the renewable energy, maybe because I think in Thailand or in some province or some city in Thailand, we still have the problem with the finance system. But okay, we still yeah still start more, but maybe we we have to do something with the to educate up the people and to make a capacity in the city level, and maybe the policy is choose from the bottom up and meet in between top down, and yeah, provide some of the finance and together work together with the academic sector together with the private sector, just like energy company or something, and maybe I think we can get more idea and implement at the city. And if it a success, maybe we can expand more and to be just like the best practice for our fellow or our friends from the other city in the whole of the country. But so difficultly, I think maybe right now. Huh?
Yes, it will be very difficult to narrow it down, right? But from Thailand, I guess what I got was talk to everyone, see where you can have cooperation, see who would want to cooperate to begin the city's renewable energy journey, right? Um, just talk to everyone first, build capacities, build awareness, because if the if they see that, oh, the city's serious in building renewable energy, they'll pull in the efforts, sometimes even the funds necessary to put up renewable energy facilities. Thank you, Tal. For Quezon City, Sir Jomar, are you with us?
Yes. I
Yeah,
think
if
I agree with Chiang Mai and with you. It's really difficult to start with, but of course, to really jumpstart the process or the implementation or building a renewable energy shift, let's start by I think building on partnership. If you have this small group of people that can work with you so that you can jumpstart the process or the financing mechanism, the implementation, the process of for instance, the benefits that you will be having in the long term, just to really show off that if you can start in a small scale, it's really on really have an high impact in terms of reducing your costs. You have the savings, you have the reduction on your emission, just really building on what resources you have, because that's what we did here in Quezon City, with our own resources, with the given budget. That's the time we work around for implementing the solar energy project. Just starting by the feasible and viable public buildings within the city. So I think that's that's from my end.
Thank you, Sir Jomar. Again, it's really find partners who are willing to work with you, and then start small, and then cascade and avalanche the efforts from there. Tal, you have your hand raised. Do you have
Yeah,
any
of
other
course.
inputs?
Yeah, because well, one thing that I think for the intensive from the government's intensive tax for the government, maybe just like to invite some of the factory or some of the industry or some of the hotel, they change, okay, maybe to use the renewable energy. And I think this one is okay to invite them to jump to the track of the intensive, because actually we have the experience if with the EV car 3.5 model, is mean some of the cost yeah support by the government. Is mean why EV car very popular right now in Thailand. And I think if renewable energy, maybe the central government or the local government, they have the regulation, and maybe they can uh, give especially intensive tax or reduce some of the price of the equipment related to the renewable energy, may be very successful in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Tal. Yeah, indeed, renewable energy is also a prime space to start the renewable energy journeys of our of cities, because people will always want to be mobile. So if there's no existing infrastructure for RE, that's also a good place to start pooling in funds and investments. Thank you, Tal, and thank you to Chiang Mai. Thank you, Quezon City. James, over to you again for round three of our chats.
So right. Such productive discussion for that part. And yeah, I see a lot of reactions during that panel discussion that we've had. So now we move on to the next round. So now we move on to technology. So I think interestingly Kuntan already sort of preluded into this with his mention of electric vehicles. But then perhaps to start, we ask for round three. Which emerging renewable energy technologies have you adopted in your cities? And what is the most feasible one to adopt? And how does your city evaluate and select the most appropriate renewable energy technologies for its specific needs? And then, yeah, what is one renewable energy or energy efficiency technology solution you have found especially challenging to implement and are curious to know more about from your peers? So we can give them some time. Perhaps for the first question, it could be rephrased into why the government buildings in both cities. Why in the municipal hall? Why in schools? Why in the hospitals? Are we installing these solar panels? And for question two, are there any technologies that, the city would be interested in? Like, for example, in Chiang Mai, they've done some renewable energy potential studies and they found that wind energy is not too feasible. So, yeah, why is that? So, yeah. Could we start again with you,
Yeah,
Rita?
thank you, James. Because actually, for the renewable energy or technology, I think in Chiang Mai, because we are the mountain city, we not offshore or close to the sea. It's mean we have the I think I would like to say we have the low wind speed. I mean, solar panel is very suitable for our city. For our city, solar panels technology, I think it may be suitable for Chiang Mai. But uh, yeah, almost I think solar panel is very suitable for Chiang Mai and right now some city in Thailand not in Chiang Mai maybe they are okay change from waste to energy but in case of Chiang Mai University, I heard that they have some small project, okay, change from the organic waste to be the methane and produce the electricity for the small public transport inside of the Chiang Mai University. Yeah, this is the information I provide to the our fellow in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, just to emphasize, it's mainly topographical features that sort of dictate what renewable energy sources would be available in certain cities. So again, as Kuntan mentioned, they've narrowed down through that in terms of resource availability, and then yes, selected ultimately solar energy to be harnessed for Chiang Mai's case. Sir Jomar, would you like to also add for Quezon City's case, please?
Okay. I think I'll start with why we are choosing or we are implementing this with the city government facilities, because I think that's doable for us. That's easy for us, really, because it's under the management of the city government. We have the capacity to really look into what buildings are feasible for that particular project or particular implementation of a particular project. And in line with the technology, with given that the geographic location of the city, currently we only implement solar panel technology within the city. This is the only the technology that we considered and adopted, and is feasible to implement within the city boundary. Um, in terms of the technology solution that we wanted to know more about, I think we are exploring on smart metering technology or solutions in terms of smart metering systems for efficient and tracking management, in terms of battery energy storage systems, low cost, high impact efficiency technologies such as intelligent lighting systems, energy recovery ventilation, and then we want to know also about some affordable and sustainable technologies for low income households or communities. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sir Drummer. So yeah, similarly in terms of, narrowing down all technologies in the site selection, local governments are choosing, their own assets because they're under their management, and expanding beyond that, they have the households. And so in terms of permitting, Kuntan, right, recently the Thai government, as you mentioned, made it easier for local households to access or install their own solar panels on top of their roofs. That is also the case in the Philippines. There's not much complications in terms of acquiring and installing those energy sources to also harness renewable energy, and they've been proven to cut costs for electricity um, sourced from the grid across a lot of cases. But then yeah, in terms of RE&EE tech that you're interested in, yeah, I guess those are the next steps for Quezon City, smart lighting systems, smart metering, as well as for energy from ventilation systems, because the exhaust heat and mechanical wind energy from those cooling systems could also be sources of additional energy, just so that the excess heat of those electronic appliances that we have for cooling systems or whatnot are not wasted and just emitted back to the environment, and could be that's something that's being explored right now in the space, right? In terms of that. So, do we have any more questions or discussion points for round three? Uh, Seeing none, maybe we could jump to round four, and then we'll have one big discussion at the end of both before we close. So, yeah, for our last round, we have finally public participation. So for this one, our guide questions are: what strategies have been most effective in engaging the community and securing public support for renewable energy projects in your city? And how does your city address public participation to renewable energy projects, if there are any? And then secondly, what would you like to learn more about from your own peers, and then regarding community engagement approaches? So perhaps we could start this time with Sir Jomar and Quezon City.
Yeah. For this part, I think most effective and doable for the city in terms of community engagement is through the conduct of some orientations, workshops, capacity building on renewable and energy efficiency initiatives. Um, in terms of the public opposition, to address that opposition, we usually conduct public hearings and multi-sectoral consultations, peer-to-peer consultations with national government agencies, with the different stakeholders, particularly the vulnerable sectors, so that we can also get their feedback, explain them further, what will be the benefit for them, the benefit for the city, and then what partnership we can build on in the long run, in terms of the implementation of that particular project, or for instance this renewable energy transition. Um, Also, in terms of another strategy we can have is, as I've mentioned a while ago, is in terms of memorandum of agreement with a certain group or organization, just like with our schools division office in terms of the implementation of the solar energy project in public schools, so that we can get their buy-in for solar installations. Yeah, and then conduct energy efficiency or green practices orientations in some of the vulnerable sectors in the community. And then for what I'd like, or what Kansas City would like to learn more about from other peers, maybe on in terms of long-term engagement incentive programs or participation for private sector and communities. Or do you have any activities in terms of encouraging more stakeholders' participation for implementing this kind of program or project?
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Sir Jomer. So we'll leave the questions hanging for now for that second part, but then can we move on to Puntan for the Chiang Mai side?
Yeah, thank you again. So, public participation. Okay, I would like to separate. Okay, we are participatory with the academic sector, because academic sector or university just like a think tank to know more technology or new technology related to the energy transition at the city. We choose to collaborate with the academic sector and create some of small scale to produce some new knowledge. But in the parallels, on in the same time, we are okay, go back to the community of our society, and we have to set the group of the people to do with the energy uh, transition at the society, together with the students in the school. And actually, in every month, Chiang Mai municipality have the meeting with the leader, because actually we have the 100 committee, we have the 100 committee leader. Yeah, we can get more idea from them how to improve the energy use or energy consumption at the city or at the community. But if we are okay focus on the learn from our fellow or our friends, I think because sometimes in different places is mean, maybe we can learn from the new technology and trick for some of organization and to adapt in Chiang Mai or in the others area in terms of the energy transition at the city level. Thank you.
Thank you, Kuntan. So yeah, perhaps to emphasize that point, and maybe this could be one of the possible answers to Sir Jomer's posed question earlier, is that Chiang Mai has a strong relationship with the academic institutions that are within its jurisdiction. So we have the Chiang Mai University, Chiang Mai Rajabat University, and other academic institutions. And that's something that's a common thing in Thailand for the innovations that's happening within the academic institutions and think tanks to be more clearly or more directly related and implemented within the local government. So I guess having that synergistic relationship could be one of the answers in terms of, having the innovation to society connect. And well, I guess academic institutions are also stakeholders in that energy transition. And so, yeah, perhaps also I guess what I've picked up with both discussions is having formal connections or formalized partnerships with organized groups in the communities could really help in terms of really expediting the renewable energy transition in both cities. So yeah, for our last discussion portion, Chris, have you picked up any um, questions that you may have?
Thanks, James. I think just in the interest of time, just really quickly for Chiang Mai and Quezon City, where do we, I think some of the questions can be summarized. Where do you even start with raising public awareness and improving public buy-in into renewable energy? We talked about, having information drives, doing educational campaigns, but what are some of the practical ways to do these steps towards public awareness? I think Chiang Mai or Quezon City, and yeah, anyone can start answering.
Yeah, I think for the public awareness, maybe okay. We are set the order of the whole years, and especially for just like the World Environmental Days, or the together with the student in the school, yeah, to exchange the idea and the knowledge, and make some information campaign in the school and in the community. Yeah, how do they jump into the energy transition in the city level? Yeah, but we can get more information and to uh, amendment or to change the policy. Yeah, in the future, in the term of the mayor.
Thank you so much, Tal and Chiang Mai. What I got from that was one of the first things you can start with is go to the schools because they're already teaching their students. For example, when they're talking about their science classes, that's one easy way to integrate talking about renewable energy into students. And when the students learn it, the students can then tell their parents about, oh,
Yeah.
we learned about solar panels in school, and then the information cascades. Thank you so much, Tar. For Quezon City, Sir Jomar, any insights? What are the practical information dissemination and awareness raising steps that our colleagues around the world can do?
Yeah. So we really show moral ascendancy. So we are really starting from our end. We show them that the implementation in terms of what's in it for us, what's in it for them in the long run. So the benefit, we show them the benefits. Really start doing by something is it we start by doing something by doing it small or doing it large, because by the end of the day, we really want to really involve everyone to participate in this agenda to really have more energy efficient and renewable energy Quezon City. So as much as possible, we try to invest really to raise awareness by doing this kind of projects that would benefit Quezon City or the whole community of Quezon City. Um, Another, we also invite the sectors by sectors or the barangays, the communities, in some of the activities that we've conduct in terms of solar energy projects, in terms of energy efficiency, in terms of other green practices, so that in that way they can understand and really have a knowledge in terms of what's in it for them.
Thank you, Sir Jomar and Quezon City. What I got from that, just to summarize, is first, there needs to be a heavy emphasis on benefits. Um, sure, we can talk about emissions reductions all the day long, but for the household level, for the community, they're more interested in concepts like cost savings or reliability of energy, right? And I think the second point I got from Sir Jomar was that how important it is to go to the community, meaning you have to go to each community one by one, and you don't expect them to go to, hey, everyone, go to the city hall because that's effort on their part. But if the local government goes to the community, then it's an example of goodwill that, hey, we're this serious about transitioning to renewable energy. Thank you to Chiang Mai and Quezon City for answering some of those questions. Before I hand over to James to close us, we do have a lot of great questions in the Q&A box. Unfortunately, because of time, we are not able to answer all of them. But in our post event email that will be coming up in 1 to 2 weeks, we'll try to get answers to these as well as with the outcomes from this webinar. We'll email the participants. Again, thank you to Chiang Mai and Quezon City. And James, I hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Chris, for that. And that concludes the peer exchanges that we have for today. So, yes, again, thank you very much to our panel members from Chiang Mai, from Quezon City, and unfortunately from Borongan City who still are unable to participate. But then hopefully we could engage with them more fruitfully in the coming activities, if not through the new Southeast Asia project, through our other projects that we have with them. Just to close our session, we'd like to let you know of some upcoming releases from the Renew project. So we have our knowledge products that are going to be in Thai for those that are Thai participants. So we've already sort of launched and released the English knowledge products that we have in the Sustainable Energy website. And the Thai translations are coming up, but then the Bahasa ones for those that are in Malaysia and Thailand are already available. And then the policy briefs are in their final stages. So we're going to release the English version soon, but then we're also going to have them translated into the local languages of the project. So that's going to be in Thai mainly, and then Bahasa uh, Indonesia, and Melayu. And then, yeah, please, as Chris promoted, please join the community of practice and the 100% RE network, just so that, you could get updated with the project, any opportunities that may come, because we also give out announcements related to financing. We're also connected with sort of donors and whatnot, such as the Institute of for Climate and Sustainable Cities, SICAT Pilipinas, which is a stark partner of Borongan, as well as Oxfam Pilipinas and uh, other workers in the renewable and energy efficiency space. So yes, finally, before anything else, we'd like to ask you to answer our feedback form that you could receive your certificate. So any final remarks from the panel members, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, do we have any final word, like one sentence to end us off from Chiang Mai and Quezon City? If you had just one sentence that you hope participants take away from this conversation, what will that be?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And I think maybe in the future we can collaborate in Southeast Asia and maybe in cross continental to South Africa or the others country. Yeah, to exchange the experience and the knowledge and move the idea from the other country or the other city to the other city. And thank you again. Thank you very much. Thank you for ICLEI also.
Thank you, Tal and Chiang Mai. For Quezon City, Sir Jomar, any
Yeah.
final thoughts?
It's just a sweet sentence. I think let's walk the talk. Yeah. It's provide assistance to everyone in terms of the information drive, the knowledge sharing. If we can provide peer-to-peer sessions to everyone, we can have that so that we can continue the work that we are doing in this kind of line of work. Thank you for ICLEI Southeast Asia for inviting Quezon City and to share our projects and initiatives in terms of renewable energy and energy efficiency and conservation. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Jomar and Quezon City. And again, thank you to Chiang Mai. Again, please answer the survey form on your screen. If you want to receive a certificate of attendance, we'll also be emailing it to you. Zoom will send an automatic email probably around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. tomorrow, so that you also have this link in your email, so you have the opportunity to get your certificate of attendance. Again, we had over 300. I think we maxed out at over 300 participants from all over the world. To each and every one of you, no matter where you're joining us from, thank you so much for setting aside an hour and a half to join us and witness this fireside chat with Chiang Mai, Quezon City, and ICLEI. And James, I think we can go to our very last slide. Again, thank you for joining us. We highly encourage you to join the Renew Southeast Asia Community of Practice. We are pasting in the chat box the links to the survey and this community of practice. So please do join and answer the survey. So with that, in the future, when there's more opportunities such as this one, learning opportunities, whether online or in person, maybe perhaps even consultancy opportunities or partnership opportunities under the Renew Southeast Asia project, you will be the first to know. So I guess we have a few minutes. I hope to give you back those 3 minutes before 3:30 p.m. Again, thank you everyone. Thank you to our panelists again, Chiang Mai and Quezon City, Tal and Sir Jomar. Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
That's it. 1.5. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. This
Thank
Zoom
you.
webinar room. Thank you, sir. This Zoom webinar room will close in a minute. Again, if you please scan, answer the survey. We're putting it again and again in the chat box for your reference. Again, this will also be emailed to your email so that you don't miss out on anything. Again, thank you to everyone who set aside time to be with us this morning, afternoon, or evening in the case of those who are joining us from the other side of the world. Thank you. We'll be closing this webinar room in just 5 seconds. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.